And before we close tonight, a dear colleague of ours here in the north has been hospitalized at the Rand Memorial Hospital. She is in need of blood to type O negative. The family is appealing to anyone who can to please donate. And that's going to do it for us here in the north. I'm Ramiko Knowles.
I'm Shane Stubbs.
Thanks for tuning in. There's a live look at the Bahamas tonight coming your way next.
ZNS News is brought to you by the new BTC. Fiber is here. Faster, stronger, more reliable. Together, we are unstoppable. Switch today.
Coming up in the Bahamas tonight at 11, the government is trying to dismantle a national housing shortage. Hear what the housing minister recommends. Plus, the country bids farewell to a beloved veteran clergyman. And the Pacers of Iron Bailey reaping some excellent national examination results. The Bahamas tonight at 11 starts now.
The Bahamas tonight at 11. The final word starts now.
Good evening, everyone. I'm LaDawn Davis. Welcome to the broadcast. It's the news many public servants have been waiting for. A major service-wide promotion exercise within months, hopefully concluding early next year. However, the labor minister admitted to Lloyd Allen that there are some system challenges impacting how quickly those promotions can happen.
Service-wide is a promotional exercise in the public service that allows public servants to be moved up naturally every 2 years.
Labor and Public Service Minister, the Honorable Pia Glover-Rose, says the massive exercise helps to regularize the process, identifying a specific sector of the public service.
Service-wide is an exercise that addresses a certain group of individuals in the public service. Then there's something called AS assessments and FAS assessments, and then general promotions. General promotions are constantly ongoing, and to date we have actually executed well into 4,000 promotions in our public service.
Glover-Rose says on the back end of the important initiative, much groundwork is underway, which has impacted the completion of the necessary task.
There are still challenges when we deal with analog files in terms of getting persons' information, people having to submit documents multiple times. But fortunately, we're moving away from that. We're seeing ease of process, and that will all go well for the workers of the public service.
A pilot project now operating in the healthcare sector known as Oracle, according to Glover-Rose, will be a part of the future digitization of records in the public service.
The Oracle platform is what is going to help us to migrate from analog to digital, which is going to help us improve the efficiency and effectiveness of our human resource and financial services to our employees. And of course, that is also going to help us improve in process.
Now, since taking office in 2021, the current administration offered a service-wide promotion exercise in 2023, along with a clearing of the backlog of promotions and salary increments in 2024. Reporting from downtown Nassau, for the Bahamas Tonight, I'm Lloyd Allen.
Thanks a lot, Lloyd. Well, according to the central bank's quarterly economic report, in contrast to the consumer credit experience, approval rates for mortgages were almost unchanged in the bank's lending condition survey, but with significantly fewer applications being processed. And with slightly faster growth in consumer loans, the bank is also reporting a slower rate of growth in residential mortgages. However, the Minister of Housing is recognizing another crisis in the housing market. Fern Carey has the details on his communication in the House of Assembly on Wednesday.
Statistical information from a recent housing census shows that there are a large number of abandoned buildings in the country. However, Housing Minister, the Honorable Keith Bell, explained that those buildings do not add to the pool of habitable housing. He noted that with limited housing available, many residents are faced with rising rents due to competition, which leads to overcrowding and other challenges.
For the purpose of the census, a dwelling is classified as habitable once it meets certain basic structural conditions, such as having a roof, walls, and an enclosed suitable space for human living. But, Madam Speaker, what may be considered habitable for statistical purposes is not necessarily what the average Bahamian family would regard as livable. A structure may meet the census definition of a dwelling yet still lack electricity, running water, plumbing, or proper sanitation.
A significant share of new dwellings in the country are also listed as investment properties, short-term rentals, or second homes that do not accommodate the average number of Bahamian households.
According to the International Monetary Fund, in its 2025 Selected Issues paper on housing affordability in the Bahamas, between 2012 and 2022, property prices and rents rose by 14%, while average wages only increased by 2%. The cost of housing, therefore, grew 7 times faster than wages. That is the definition of a housing affordability crisis.
Banks and lending institutions are also playing a role in the housing shortage.
Many of the same institutions, Madam Speaker, that claim the market is oversupplied continue to hold repossessed or distressed properties for years, refusing to sell them at market value because doing so would require them to recognize losses. These homes remain locked up, idle, and unproductive, contributing nothing to the economy or to national housing supply.
A number of initiatives are in place to address the housing shortage, such as rent-to-own and other programs. For the Bahamas Tonight, I'm Fern Carey.
Immigration officials deported 12 Haitians from New Providence to Haiti this morning on a chartered flight. A male Haitian who was refused entry at the Lyndon Pendling International Airport was also on that flight. Earlier this week, 13 Haitians, a Cuban, and a Dominican national were convicted in the magistrate's court for overstaying. The offenders received between $300 and $3,000 in fines and sentences of 1 month to 18 months at B-Docks. A firearm, ammunition, 87 pounds of hydroponic marijuana edibles, marijuana-infused vape pens, and an estimated 1 ounce of mushrooms were all seized by Drug Enforcement Unit officers, along with the Canine Support Unit, around 11 o'clock yesterday morning at a home on Atlantic Drive. Officers also confiscated over $5,000 in cash suspected to be proceeds of crime. Authorities say the estimated combined street value of the seized substances is approximately $207,000. After executing a search warrant, officers arrested a 33-year-old male occupant of the residence in connection with this matter. About a half hour later, the same unit executed a search warrant at another home on Atlantic Drive. It was there that they discovered a quantity of suspected hydroponic marijuana that has an estimated weight of 10 pounds, 10 ounces, with an estimated street value of $21,000. No arrests were made in that matter. Commonwealth Bank is tonight sounding the alarm, cautioning customers to be careful as new fraud trends emerge. Leah Cooper has the details.
With just one quick tap, you can lose thousands of dollars, and according to Commonwealth Bank, no one is immune. It's an issue plaguing commercial banks in the country for quite some time, but according to the bank's Vice President of Enterprise Risk Management, Davine Dawkins-Roll, there's a new trend emerging.
So the way smishing works is criminals would develop a website with the look and feel of a legitimate company, in this case the bank, and they would normally send out an SMS message with a link to that website. The customer receiving the notice, and the notice is normally something that causes some emotional flux. You've had a breach, your account is about to be shut down, you're in danger.
You see, normally the customer would click that link and then they log on to that fictitious website. The criminal would take that information and log on to the real website and access the customer's account.
The criminal would then call the customer and say, "Dear sir or madam, we see where you have been conducting transaction. We sent you a message to indicate there's a problem with your account." They do this so that they can gain the trust of the customer. So the customer believes they're actually from the legitimate company, in this case the bank, and they're trying to call to help. Then the criminal would say, "You're going to get an OTP message. I need you to give me the OTP numbers that you received so I can fix this problem." But really what they're doing is transferring money from that person's account to steal from them.
So what are some signs to look out for?
One of the things that they should look out for is someone calling them on behalf of the bank with a sense of urgency that something needs to happen right away. At Commonwealth Bank, whenever we reach out to you, we know that we're on your time, and it's never with a sense of urgency and immediacy that something needs to happen.
The bank's VP of Innovation and IT, Javon McIntosh, also warns to pay attention to the link being sent, as criminals can mimic the look and feel of the website.
However, what they're not able to do is mimic our domain name. So when you look at a link or you receive a link or website that's purporting to be from Commonwealth Bank, you should really look for the .combankltd.com.
So what could start with just a simple text message could possibly empty your entire bank account. The advice: remain alert, read everything, and don't do things distracted. For the Bahamas Tonight, I'm Leah Cooper.
And still to come, R.M. Bailey students excel on the national stage. You're watching the Bahamas Tonight at 11.
Imagine a world where every brand knows your name and every store awaits your arrival. Elite shopping, travel where luxury is a lifestyle and every journey feels like home. Dine where every flavor is just for you, every table reserved, and every moment a taste of perfection. Make every big moment even bigger. Experience banking where wealth isn't just managed, it's maximized. Step into a world without limits. Commonwealth Bank, leader in personal banking services.
Your home is your sanctuary. The last thing you need to worry about is rodents. Once they enter your property, they can be tough to get out. If you're concerned about rodents, call Rent-A-Kill Initial. We offer the latest, most effective treatment for safe, fast, and long-lasting results. From prevention to elimination, our integrated approach guarantees protection. For rodent control you can trust, there's only one name in the Bahamas: Rent-A-Kill Initial.
Our company offers a simple philosophy: open hands. What do open hands mean? If you keep your hands closed, nothing comes in, nothing goes out. If you keep your hands open, a lot of things comes in, a lot of things goes out. We cannot expect to be a successful company without blessing our community and blessing our country.
My good friend and valued client, Dominic Stirrup, approached me following a meeting we had and told me of the idea that he had of feeding 10,000 Bahamians on Thanksgiving.
There was a lot of details to put together, had to figure out how to get it done, but at the end, it was worth it. At the end, it gave me a heart of gratitude to know that our company is reaching out to so many persons.
We invite you on a journey to witness an extraordinary chapter in the story of the Bahamas Striping Group of Companies, a tale of compassion, unity, and the true spirit of Thanksgiving.
Another family hit by tragedy following the death of a Bahamian overseas. The Ministry of Foreign Affairs revealing in a brief release this evening that authorities in Nova Scotia have informed them of the death of Adam Dillette. Under what circumstances were not revealed. However, the release adds that Dillette's family has been informed and the Consulate General in Toronto staff stands ready to assist and support the family. More tonight on the Disaster Risk Management Authority's humanitarian mission to Jamaica. Tonight we hear from farmers who say the road to recovery post Melissa is proving just as challenging as the storm itself. Here's Diane Dorset.
It's been more than a week since Hurricane Melissa made landfall in Jamaica, and the agricultural sector, a key part of Jamaica's economy, has been hit especially hard. Fields once full of crops now lay flattened, leaving many without a source of income and a painful reminder of the storm's strength. But even amid the devastation, coffee farmers Denise Green and Scotty of East Rural St. Andrews are finding ways to push forward.
Financially, it is very hard because right now my son is supposed to be going for his CXC and I have to find the money for him. And I was depending on the crop to continue on with school and everything. But with God's help, I know I'm going to have to come through because I plan to put in some quick crop to see if that can help me out.
And for many longtime farmers, repeated storms have made it difficult to stay hopeful, forcing them to pick up other trades to stay afloat.
For me, the coffee, definitely me get a terrible leak from that because that definitely, I'm a bread and butter that. But me have other skills otherwise like Mason and Captain here, me try me on at that time. Because that me have to look to like right now. But for me, the farm, consistently, one hurricane after the other, one hurricane. It's like to every time when we reach, near to reach my goal, me have to step back. So, wow, it's rough. But I know I have to pull through still.
Even in the face of loss, the resilience of Jamaicans shines through. As recovery efforts continue, that enduring resilience will be the driving force helping communities rebuild. Reporting from St. Andrews Parish, Jamaica for the Bahamas Tonight, I'm Diane Dorset.
The International Maritime Organization Assembly is preparing to elect its 40-member executive council later this month. The council serves as the MIO's executive organ and is responsible for supervising the organization's work. The Bahamas, currently a member, is looking to retain its seat on the council. IMO Ambassador His Excellency Paul Roll says even though the Bahamas plays a significant role on the council, nothing can be taken for granted in terms of guaranteeing it's re-elected.
Bahamas does have a lot of influence in the IMO. You know, also the Bahamas has a very large ship registry. I think we're the 8th largest in the world, and by virtue of that, you know, you have quite a bit of influence as well.
The former Royal Bahamas Police Force Commissioner also chimed in about the appointment of his fellow colleague, Clayton Fernandez, as Bahamas Consul General to Toronto. Ambassador Rolls saying moving from law enforcement chief to diplomat is a natural progression. He is pleased to see Fernandez make that transition.
It makes it a little easier when you transition from law enforcement as the Commissioner of Police, moving into the diplomatic cycle. I think it adds to it. It adds to it, and it brings that level of you coming in already known. And so when you go into these places and you see people, your name is known. The Bahamas name is already known, and that is very helpful for us. And I think it is a good thing for us who continue to serve the country and to serve in these capacities.
We've got some good news from education to tell you about this evening. Rather, a high school here in the capital is advertising its brand of success after students perform exceptionally well in the recent national examinations. The school's principal and other key players shared their excitement with our news team.
Our English department, for example, they received A through D passes 80%, with 14 of those students receiving A grades.
That's just the start of the exceptional grades Bailey Senior High School students were able to bring home to Pacer Country after sitting this year's Bahamas General Certificate of Secondary National Examinations. And for their hard work, their pictures and grades were posted in front of their school's campus to capture the public's eye. A boastful Bailey principal, Cherie Russell, credits the dedicated and hardworking teachers for the students' overall academic success.
They pushed them from day one. They pushed them to attend evening classes on Saturday from the first semester. In addition, I feel that our teachers teach to our students' strengths and their weaknesses. And so that tends to fill in the gaps, and that is what helps in bringing these results.
11th grader Kevin Williams scored 5 A's and hopes to seal his future career by achieving a few more before ending his senior year.
I decided to take them in the 11th grade to give myself a head start. So in grade 12, I wouldn't have to be stressed out so much about completing them. And also, I have an easier way of applying for colleges because I already have several good results to show them.
Mother of graduating senior Truell Cox, Lorraine Cox, says it melts her heart to see that her daughter's late-night studying paid off.
When I found out about the bulletin this morning, a friend of mine called me and told me that Bailey have a poster up with the children who achieve 8 or more BGCSEs. And I'm very proud of my daughter. I help her, study, go over stuff with her during the time she was taking the BGCSE.
Education officials hope that advertising the exceptional results of these students not only sheds a positive light on the public school system, but also is a telltale sign that all is not lost among the country's future generation. Decades after first entering the doors of St. Agnes Anglican Church, retired Anglican Archbishop Drexel Gomez today returned to his home church, now his final resting place. Makush Lapinder reports that his life is a testament of unity, integrity, service, and a deep love for the church.
My skin worms destroy this body, yet in my flesh shall I see God.
The sacred walls of Christ Church Cathedral witnessed a celebration of the life and legacy of the late Archbishop Drexel Gomez, the very place he once preached words of hope, unity, and redemption. Just as in life, his death drew the likes of local and regional dignitaries and clergy from across the region, as well as the wider public. To the many, he was and will always be His Grace, the Most Reverend, or simply Archbishop Gomez. To his children, like his eldest son, Damien, he was Daddy, always a unifier in the face of disagreements.
By his example, by his words, by his deeds, by the training of so many priests, he left our province much stronger than he met it.
His attributes many. For Prime Minister the Honourable Philip Davis, it was retired Archbishop Gomez's lifelong commitment to his faith.
His mind was sharp, his words precise, but it was his heart that defined him. He understood that the church was not a monument to be admired, but a living body meant to heal. He believed that theology must never become detached from compassion, and that truth without love is incomplete.
The Right Reverend Philip S. Wright, Senior Bishop of the Church in the province of the West Indies, lauded Gomez's role in shaping the direction of the Anglican community, both at home and throughout the Caribbean.
Archbishop Gomez served with distinction and unwavering faith, leaving a profound impact on the church and all who had the privilege of knowing and working with him. Archbishop Gomez was deeply respected for his wisdom, humility, and pastoral heart.
As the final hymns were sung and the casket loaded onto a waiting hearse, retired Archbishop Drexel Gomez's mortal remains made the slow trek back to an old familiar place, St. Agnes. For the Bahamas Tonight, I'm Makush Lapinder.
Amajal Knowles is back from vacation and has a look at what's coming up in sports.
And the BAISS holding their sudden death playoffs. Details of that story and more coming up in sports.
Like, what are you grabbing all these pizzas, boy?
Wait, Marcos, wait. We have a special on all the large one-topping pizzas, wait.
Pineapple.
All.
Barbecue.
All. Hey, that included, boy.
I need the $10 special place. How many would you like? 20 in it. Thank you so much, man. $10, that's it. The Marcos got that deal, boy.
Throughout our lifetime, we must all make decisions. No matter how we choose, the right one just needs to be made. Like having J.S. Johnson Insurance Agents and Brokers as your insurance partner. We've been serving the Bahamas for over 100 years. Whether you need home, motor, marine, or commercial insurance, make the right decision. Call 397-2100 or visit jsjohnson.com.
JS Johnson Insurance. Peace of mind.
Registering for the advanced poll? Listen up. 2 deadlines are looming. Overseas voters must apply by Thursday, October 30th. Special voters have until Thursday, November 6th. Who qualifies? An overseas voter is a Bahamian eligible to vote from abroad, like students studying overseas and certain government personnel posted outside the Bahamas, along with qualifying spouses and immediate family. A special voter is someone who may be unable to vote in person on election day, including those 65 and older, hospitalized or in a care facility, pregnant, or who have recently given birth, traveling or stationed overseas on election day, candidates and their spouses, election workers, and parliamentary registration employees. For the full list of who qualifies and how to apply, click the link in the caption or pause the screen. Don't miss your deadline. Apply for the advanced poll today.
Welcome to the Thursday Evening Sports Check, everyone. I'm Amajal Knowles, topping sports. The Freedom Farm baseball field was the place to be yesterday with 4 games on deck. The BSS Girls Softball Sudden Death playoffs as the teams would try to lock up their spots in next week's championship series. Eugene Stewart was there and fills us in on all the action.
The BASS softball playoff series began last night at the Freedom Farm Fields for the junior and senior girls divisions. For the junior girls defending champs, the Queens College Comets coming out victorious against the St. Anne's Blue Waves. The Comets would take this one in a close 15-4. The Comets will have their championship matchup set against the Big Red Machine of Sac. The junior girls of Sac bringing the bats out as they would cruise by the Aquinas Aces 16-1.
It's a great feeling always to get back into the championship, yeah, the bats came around. It came around at the last minute, but we still give God the thanks for the victory. And so the girls know we made some key errors and we had some walks that really hurt us. But in the end, we have to work on a few things. So when we get to championship, we get it together.
In senior girls action, the St. Andrews Hurricanes led the way against the Big Red Machine in their 5-inning matchup. Finding a way to rally back, Sac would charge their way to victory by a score of 18-13.
Well, the game today was it was a good game for us. We were able to execute a lot of things that we practiced, so hopefully moving forward, we could continue on that path.
And in the final senior girls game of the evening, the Cougars of Charles W. Saunders face off against the Queens College Comets. The Cougars would give the Comets a chase, but in the end of 5, it would be the Comets making another championship appearance as they would win this one in grand style, 19-9.
It's a really good feeling considering that we've been practicing just to come here and play to the best of our ability.
Well, it feels good to be here. We are used to this though, and we are just going to go back to the drawing board and be ready. We take it one game at a time.
All softball championship matchups for the junior and senior girls begin this coming Monday, November 10th at Freedom Farm Fields. Reporting for ZNS Total Sports, I'm Eugene Stewart.
Over in the north, the Grandmama volleyball games continuing over at the 8 Mile Rock Gymnasium. Things certainly picking up, and our Northern Services Jay Philippe updates us on all the winners and losers from Day 3.
In the opening match of Day 3 of the Grand Bahama Games in volleyball, in ladies' play, Central Grand Bahama took on Team Pine Ridge. Central Grand Bahama won the first set, but it was Team Pine Ridge that came back to take set 2, tying the match at 1.
I have no doubt that Central Grand Bahama will be one of the top teams at the end of the day. When we look at some of the other teams, they are coming out with 6 and 7. Our team actually has a full roster. As a matter of fact, we had to turn away some players because of the roster size. So I feel like we have a very good chance. And once again, everyone on the team can actually play.
Pine Ridge now sits in second place in the ladies' standings with a 5-3 overall record.
Honestly, I felt it could be better at teamwork. We put up every now and again 1 point to 1 point, which I would prefer. We do 2 points to 0. But, I mean, so far, I'd give it chef kiss.
East Grand Bahama, West Grand Bahama, and Central Grand Bahama are among the last 3 teams looking to secure a playoff spot. East Grand Bahama has a 3-5 record. The top 4 teams in each constituency will advance to the playoffs.
We have a full roster, but there's a challenge been getting them out to play. So my best team has not been on the quarters yet. But I think we're still trying. We're holding our own, and hopefully we can win the next few games so we can end up going into the semifinals.
Again, action will continue throughout the week with the championship set for Friday night. For ZNS Total Sports, reporting from 8 Mile Rock Gymnasium at the Grand Bahama Games, I'm Jay Philippe, ZNS Total Sports.
Thanks, Jay. Into the hardwood, the trio of Bahamian NBA stars taking to the court last night in the association, starting first with big man DeAndre Ayton and the red-hot Los Angeles Lakers. Ayton outplaying San Antonio Spurs star center Victor Wembanyama, closing Wednesday's 118-116 win over the Spurs with 22 points, 10 rebounds, 2 blocks, and 1 steal across 33 minutes of play. The double-double was Ayton's second straight since returning from a 1-game absence due to back spasms and his 4th of the season. In 8 contests, the 27-year-old center is averaging 17 points, 8 boards, 1 block, and 1 assist to begin his first season with the Lakers. Over in Sacramento, Buddy Hield facing his former team in the Kings. A relatively quiet night for Buddy Buckets, playing only 14 minutes, pouring in 9 points, going 3 of 5 from the field. In the end, it would be the Kings walking away with the 121-116 win. And finally, rookie phenom BJ Edgecombe cooling off a bit after his torrid start to the season, racking up just 7 points, going 3 of 14 from the floor, along with 4 rebounds and 4 assists in 36 minutes during the Sixers' 132-121 loss to the Cleveland Cavaliers. Edgecombe posted season lows in points and field goals, was unable to make a three-pointer, but despite the lackluster performance, Edgecombe is still having a phenomenal rookie season, averaging 17 points, 5 rebounds, and 4 assists. And that's Look at Your Sports on this Thursday. I'm Amajal Knowles, signing out until tomorrow.
Things may be tough, but Wendy's got you covered. Grab a day single or chicken sandwich with a junior fries and 16-ounce beverage for just $6.95. Why choose less from the other guys when you can get more? At Wendy's, we're providing bigger bites and better deals. So purchase your Tings Tough Value Meal today. Now available at all locations excluding the airport and food truck.
The internet isn't just for surfing. There's a sea of shoppers buying online, and you can connect with them on Tingsy. Tingsy is the SBDC's online storefront built for Bahamians. Take your business to the next level by selling to customers online, both at home and around the world. People want Bahamian things, and if you got things to sell, sell on Tingsy. Find out how you can connect with a sea of buyers by visiting tingsybahamas.com.
And it's time now for a weather check with Chief Meteorologist Basil Dean. Good evening, Basil.
Good evening, Dawn. In the tropics, we have a couple of weak tropical waves that are all moving towards the west, and no sign of development over the next 7 days. That's always good news. But we do have this mid-level trough in the Gulf of Mexico, and that's advecting some moisture across the extreme northwestern parts of our country. So you'll see a little bit of clouds and maybe 1 or 2 showers as well. And then we have a tropical wave that is pushing through the central parts of the country, and that's interacting with an old starlow frontal boundary that's all going to lift towards the north, and that will lead to an increase in clouds and showers over the northwest Bahamas tomorrow. And a live weather radar showing pockets of showers here and there throughout the central Bahamas, and that's in the vicinity of that tropical wave and that frontal boundary, which is all lifting towards the north. And then you can see some showers associated with that troughing over the Gulf of Mexico. Temperatures around the islands, Marshall, Babaco, 78 degrees, 72 in Green Turtle Key and in Freeport, Grand Bahama, the Berry Islands, 77. Alisson Bimini still on the warm side at 82 degrees, 81 in Fresh Creek, Central Andros. Camp Space out Andros, Black Point Exuma, 80 degrees, Rock Sound at 79, out of Stankin Island, 79 degrees. 79 is also in San Salvador, Rum Key and Georgetown Exuma. Ragged Island, Clarence Sound, Long Island, Crooked Island, 77, 75 in Betsy Bay, Maguana, and Acklands, Matthewtown, and Nagua, another 77, and the Turks and Caicos Islands at 81 degrees. And your forecast tonight, breezy this evening, otherwise partly cloudy, low temperature around 73 degrees, and tomorrow we're looking at variable cloudiness, a couple of showers, particularly in the afternoon hours as that tropical wave moves through the area. High temperature tomorrow, 81 degrees, and the extended weather forecast looking like this. A few showers right through Saturday. Sunday looks pretty nice. But then come Monday, we have a cold front move through the area, and we will see temperatures dipping on Tuesday, 68 degrees Tuesday night, and then there'll be a quick warm-up as temperatures rebound back into the low 70s. LaDawn.
Some good weather there, Basil. Well, that does it for the Bahamas tonight at 11. From all of us here at ZNS, I'm LaDawn Davis. Make it a great evening, everyone.
At Bahama Boulevard, I'm Sean Innes. This is ZNS.